Hello, hello, I'm Beth Joey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. This is a channel where I paint my face, turn my camera on and talk about some books. It's that time again. It's that time for TBR Carnival, which if you don't know what this is my TBR game that I play every month, except the one thing that's different, I think, to some others out there is that I play a different game every month, all based around the theme of carnival games. If you've been around a little bit, I bet you might be wondering what the carnival game that I'm going to be playing this month is. And we have got the classic, the amazing, spinning wheel of fortune thing. Just for the rules of this game, I'm going to end up choosing at least 5 books. Even if I get like spin agains or anything, I still have to get to a total of 5 books, plus anything that I get like where I hit a +1 or something like that. I also have to add a book to my TBR every time I land on the same color. Let's get started right away with our first spin. So spin number 1 went super well with spin again. So spin number 2, which is book number 1, I got free choice. So I can pick anything I want for this book. So let me go and grab something that I feel like reading. For spin number 1, I'm gonna go with Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a book that I've been meaning to read for literally ages. Plus I think it's on like 3 TBRs, including my 5-star predictions for the year. As for what this is about, it follows Daisy Jones and the Six, which was an infamous band in the 70s. Their sound defined an era. They were on every turntable from coast to coast until one tumultuous performance on the 12th of July 1979 when Daisy walked barefoot onto the stage at the Whiskey and everything came crumbling down. Everyone was there, but everybody remembers it differently and no one really knows the real reason why this band split up until now. I believe it's told in a sort of series of interviews at the very least. I think there are some sort of traditionally written chapters and everything in between that, but yeah, I'm super keen for this one because I know the movie either has already come out or is coming out soon, or is it a TV show? I can't remember. This has been adapted into either a movie or a TV show that is either out now or not out yet. We'll see, but keen to read it. I don't know if this thing is weighted or what, because I almost landed on the same color again, except thankfully it moved slightly a little to the left and I got a new author. So I need to pick a book that's from an author new to me, and yeah, I'm gonna go do that. So I've decided to go with How Much of These Hills is Gold by C. Pam Zhang. This is a book that's been on my TBR for ages. I think it came in a book box, like a feminist book box or something, I'm not sure. And I've never really had the inclination to read it until now. And I don't know, I saw it on my shelves and I went, you know what? You'll do, I'll go with you. Plus the green of the cover kind of matches the green that I landed on, so inspiration strikes and everything. But as for what it's about, I don't know. So I'm gonna read you the blurb, and it says, in the American West, during the gold rush, Lucy and Sam leave town with a gun in their hands and the body of their father on their backs. The siblings seek out a new way to live, but will their secrets bring them together or break them apart? It's apparently a Barack Obama Book of the Year, which is great, and apparently it's a debut as well. Like, this is the author's debut. So I'm keen to find out, I don't know, what this is about after having it for so long. Okay, so -1 as my 4th spin, I guess. So that means out of the 2 books that I've picked so far, Daisy Jones and the Six and How Much of These Hills is Gold, I have to pick one to remove from my TBR, and eventually we'll trade it with something else or hopefully get it back on the TBR in a future spin. I think I'm gonna remove How Much of These Hills is Gold just because Daisy Jones and the Six, it's on so many TBRs. I've been wanting to read it for a really long time and hopefully can get this back on my TBR with a future spin. I think that's been slightly swayed towards free choice. So either way, I'm gonna have to be adding another book to my TBR. So it's gonna be 6 in total, but I get to find a book that is essentially like a mood read. So I'm gonna go pick a book. And you know what? We're gonna put this guy back on the TBR with that free choice. So you guys already know what this is about. This is my free choice. On to the next spin. Okay, Okay, so this time I landed on next book in a recent series, which basically means I have to read the next book in a series that I've recently read. So I'm kind of tossing up between two series here. We've either got Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. I need to read the second book in that duology. Or we've got Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I need to read the second and third book. I think for the purpose of completing a series this month and meeting my goals, I'm gonna go with Heart of the Sun Warrior by Su Lin Tan, which I didn't love the first book in this series, but I liked it enough to sort of want to continue and want to learn more. As for what this series is about, it follows the daughter of the Moon Goddess who's been, I guess, imprisoned to that role by the Celestial Emperor, and she has hidden her daughter away with her until one day the daughter essentially exposes her existence and has to run away. She then finds herself in the court of the Celestial Emperor, taken on as the sort of companion to the prince, but at the end of the day her ultimate goal is to free her mother. So the story follows her journey to freeing her mother and being sort of romantically and physically stuck in between two men that are fighting out this big battle between demon lands and the sort of Celestial Emperor. It's a horrible explanation. I didn't love the book. I think I gave it like 2 or 3 stars, but I am keen to finish that series, so I'm gonna be reading this book as my next pick. Okay, so the next one that I landed on was Last Letter, First Letter, which means I have to find a book that's title starts with the last letter of the previous book's title. So this book, the title ends with an R, so I have to find a book that's title starts with an R. So I'm gonna go do that. I think I actually only have one book that fits this prompt, and that is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Thank God I bought this a little while ago. It's one of those books that I've heard a ton about, but then never actually read. So it feels like a bit of a series catch up to be reading it so long after everybody else. But as for what it's about, it says, this is a world divided by blood, red or silver. The Reds are commoners ruled by a silver elite in possession of godlike superpowers. And to 17-year-old Mare, a red girl from the poverty-stricken stilts, it seems like nothing will ever change. But Mare possesses a deadly talent of her own, one that threatens to destroy the balance of power. Fearful of her potential, the Silvers hide Mare in plain view, declaring her a long-lost silver princess, knowing that one false move will mean her death. Mare must use her new position to bring down the regime from the inside. Now Mare has entered a game of betrayal and lies. This is Reds against Silvers, Prince against Prince, and Mare against her own heart. The whole Reds and Silvers thing kind of reminds me of Red Rising by Pierce Brown, but I know this is not going to be anything like that, and it looks like it's going to be sort of fantasy romance, maybe love triangle, enemies to lovers sort of thing, I don't know. But this is the next book, and we've got 2 more spins, provided I don't get any more +1s. Okay, so I got another free choice, which is great, but I've already landed on that color twice now, which means I have to add another spin. So it's going to be 7 books in total. As for the free choice, hopefully I can find something small that I can just sink my teeth into. Okay, so for this one, I've picked a book where I know I have the audiobook. So hopefully that'll make the whole reading experience a lot quicker. But as for what it is, it's A Fatal Crossing by Tom Hindle. This actually doesn't have an amazing Goodreads rating, which scares me a little bit. It's amongst, I think, one of my 5 lowest rated books on Goodreads, which is just a little bit terrifying. But as for what it's about, it is set on a cruise ship where someone is found dead on deck, and the ship's officer or captain is very quick to declare that the death is a tragic accident. But a Scotland Yard detective, James Temple, is certain that there's more to this case than meets the eye, and so he is determined to mount an investigation with the help of the ship's officer and hopefully find the killer before they reach the other end of the journey and more people potentially wind up dead or are able to escape once the cruise ship has docked. So it sounds interesting to me. It sounds like a really intense, like stuck in an isolated setting kind of murder mystery. That's usually something I really like, but yeah, the fact that it has a low Goodreads rating kind of scares me. So I'll read it and then maybe just boot this off my TBR once it's done. 2 more books, fingers crossed. Let's do the next spin. Okay, so for this one, I have to find the shortest book that I own, which is great. I love to see that. And for me, that is Till the Cows Come Home by Jeremy Clarkson. This is the second book detailing Jeremy Clarkson's experience owning a farm and learning how to farm and pursuing all the various business ventures that he wants to undertake, like raising lambs and cows and trying to open a restaurant and setting up a shop and all these sorts of things, and all the regulation and red tape and issues with ESG and all these sorts of things that he has to face in order to run a successful farm. It's told in this very funny sort of satirical way where Jeremy Clarkson essentially makes fun of everything. And for me, it's kind of a bit of a nostalgic read because I did grow up watching Top Gear with my brother and my dad, and Jeremy Clarkson was obviously one of the hosts of that show. If you do recognize the name, title, picture, anything like that, you may recognize it from the Amazon TV show, which is kind of based around the same sort of events in these stories. They kind of align quite nicely, and I'm loving the second season, which is sort of similarly related to this book, and I'm keen to read what I've been watching. You guys should have seen the glee on his face when I told him it was his choice, and he was like, yes, I get control over this. He genuinely thought that I'd faked it and I just wanted him to like come in and pick something, but you guys saw it. I filmed every single spin. So as for what he actually picked, Sabriel by Garth Nix. This is a book that I've seen make its rounds recently again on YouTube, especially after Becca and the Books attempted to do a reread of this series and really didn't enjoy it. So that worries me a little bit because my tastes kind of align with hers. But it's also a book that I think Ben grew up reading, or, you know, it was sort of the nostalgic days of BookTube and everything is when this book first did the rounds. So as for what it's actually about, it says, to preserve life, the abortion must enter death. As a child, Sabriel was sent across the wall to Ancelstier for safety. Now aged 18, she receives a cryptic and desperate message from her father, the Aborson, the magical protector whose task it is to bind and send back to death those that won't stay dead. Fiercely determined to help her father perilously trapped in death and save him from the sinister free magic entity that has somehow ensnared him, Sabriel must prepare to enter death herself and find her destiny. Enter the Old Kingdom, a world of dark secrets and dangerous magic. So it is blurbed by Leigh Bardugo and Sarah J Maas, which is exciting considering those are both authors that I kind of like. Yeah, this is gonna be the final book, and Ben was super happy that I'm finally gonna read it. So this is my TBR for the month of March. It is by no means small, it is by a lot of means heavy, and I'm beginning to think the eagerly anticipated, on my part at least, spin the wheel is not something that I should eagerly anticipate in future because it did me wrong. But these are the books it's gonna be. It's gonna be Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lin Tan, Diddley Squat Till the Cows Come Home by Jeremy Clarkson, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, A Fatal Crossing by Tom Hindle, How Much of These Hills is Gold by C. Pen Zhang, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Sabriel by Garth Nix. So that's the list. Wish me luck. And that is officially the end of this video. So let me know in the comments down below if you play your own TBR game, or maybe if you want to use the prompts that I got from this game to pick your own TBR. I'd love to know what you would pick, the books that you would pick, whether or not you end up reading them in March. Come and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, or just let me know what you're reading at the moment, loving it, hating it, all those sorts of things. I love talking to you guys and I do my best to reply to every single comment. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do let me know by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell all down below. It is a super easy way to help my channel grow, and I just wanted to give a very quick shout out to all of you guys because my goal this year was to reach a total of 300 subscribers, and it is only like February and I'm already at 280 something. So thank you to everybody out there who has subscribed. I am so grateful. You should just see my face every time I get a new subscriber. I get that notification, it just lights up. I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far this year. You are literally making my day, making my year. But anyway, enough of all that soppiness. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. See you later.